They just brought this motherfucker back. Jim Downing. In the newest issue of Spawn. Spawn and this girl is running from the vampires, and we find out who the fuck this girl is. She's a Nephilim, a hybrid. Her parents is on the different sides of the war. That's why her powers is immune to the dead zone. Not only that, since losing his power, Spawn's symbiote has grown weaker and weaker each passing day, taking longer to reform when damaged. Now, Redeemer, who pulled up, he's a vampire fucking angel right now. He's working for the Blood, the head vampire dude right now. The fuck with Spawn, he made Eddie kill himself. Spawn was pissed as shit, right? And they really couldn't do nothing because they were surrounded by all these vampires. That's when you seen some green flying through the air, then crash down. It was Jim Downing. Now, if you don't know who Jim Downing is, back in issue 3 of Spawn, every time Spawn would try to turn into a human again, he would turn into a white dude. That white dude was Jim Downing. His soul was trapped inside the Hellspawn, because the Hellspawns eat another souls to get powerful. He made his first appearance in issue 185, when we seen Al right here, right? And he had the symbiote in his hand. He said, it's finally time to end this, right? And he says, that's it. He has to find the exact spot. As he goes to this spot, makes his power go off right here, then literally ends itself, seeing a big ass fucking his power up into the air. That's when Jim woke up in a damn room by itself with the sound of a beeping in the background from the shit that was hooked up to him. Nurse came in and they lost it because the motherfucker finally woke up. He'd been in a coma this whole time. And they had no files on this motherfucker ever since the new computer system came in. They don't know how long this motherfucker was there. And by the hour, the motherfucker was growing hella strong. He was supposed to be 80 pounds, but the motherfucker was getting stronger and stronger. And then there was somebody that had called this damn unknown dude, right? And told them that if a patient 47 ever wake up, that the call. After he did that shit, right? Bro blew his shit back. So it was a whole bunch of weird ass shit around his ass waking up. A whole bunch of vents. It was this nurse that told him, like, look, your ass been in the here longer than anybody's been here. And that's at least 4 years. Basically, to make a long story short, Jim became the new Spawn after Al died for like 70 issues. In issue 200, he fought the Omega Spawn. Pause to read what they are. He was beating the fuck out of the Omega Spawn while Violator was fighting Malbosia, who was Freak at the time. Jim got knocked the fuck out, and his symbiote, the fucking the symbiote that Al had, that motherfucker easily beat the fuck out of fucking the Omega Spawn, taking his soul, absorbing his shit, making him stronger, and proving how strong his motherfucking ass is. And the fucked up thing about it is the suit was using Jim. Because the thing about Jim that was so special, they was figuring out how the hell did Simmons send his power over to Downey? He wasn't that smart. Somebody was helping him. And I'm not the only one who thinks that. Do you know why God sent you after this new Spawn so quickly? Because he knew a perfect storm was brewing. He knew there was never been in the entire existence of mankind a human like Jim Downing, never. Because while he was in his coma, his soul was taken to heaven. You guys grabbed his spirit before you even knew what you had. That Downing soul tried to murder God while he was there. That's your problem, not mine. What completed Jim's unintended journey was when heaven bartered him away to hell for the souls of a few others. Do you know what that means? He's done something none of us ever will. His soul has been to heaven, hell, and the earth, and he's never died. That's why the symbiote wants to take over Jim Downing's soul, because whoever controls Downing ultimately controls the universe. And if you ever find that out, that he'll have the power to destroy us all. So check this out. When Downing was finna fight Malbosia, right? Malbosia took the fucking symbiote away from him because he's the one that made it, right? It knows his real master. He's the one that controls his power. So he throws his ass, right, into a dead zone where his powers don't work. Now, what is a dead zone? There's a handful of them. They're the spots where God places his demons and his spawns back on earth. He gets the soul, but heaven chooses the destination. To balance it all, the opposite occurs when heaven souls. With heaven souls, he gets to place them whatever he wants globally. The cruel twist is that each spot completely eliminates all of a soul's power as long as they are within the zone, like you are now, as you see Downing with no symbiote. He's like, your ass must be afraid of me, motherfucker. Why else would you strip me of my powers? Unless your ass scared. So he said, man, you a bitch. That's why you outside the dead zone, cowering out. He started fucking his ass up from inside the dead zone, right? Malbosia murks his ass, left his body on the ground, walks off. But then he felt something as he turned around. And Jim then went into his fucking angel form. At this time, he was the most powerful angel ever that ever existed. So now the motherfucker on demon time. This shit go down in 219 to Spawn. Spawn versus Malbosia. Big ass explosion go off, right? And he's like, oh, we are not done yet. In fact, I'm just getting warmed up. You see this motherfucker in there, cold looking as shit, looking down on Malbosia ass. He said, good, I ain't want your ass dying so easily. He said, bro, dying seems to be near impossible for me. You already knew that though. And you also knew you never was going to control me. I could feel your panic from it. So how do you want to end this? He said, the same way I always do all my victories, by slaughtering my enemy. He said, that's your best threat? He said, no, but your arrogance is blinding you to your harsh reality that your powers are fleeting. They won't last. He said, then do something about it then. Stop talking. Go ahead. Take your best shot. He ain't do shit. He's like, you hesitating. Why? He said, because there's something wrong. Look at you. Those wings, the power you're feeling. Those are heavens, not yours. I've seen angels 1,000 times and I've destroyed every one of them, but none of them retain their wings while standing in a dead zone. So he got pissed at God, like, this motherfucker fucking with the rules again. If y'all knew how manipulative he ass is against his own goals and shit, you'll shut down every church and cast him out as a traitor. He says, so let's level the playing field real quick and see if whatever is giving you your powers applies to the rest of us. Because I don't want to think God is selfish enough to completely defy all our agreed to provisions as he walked through the dead zone. For what has been written, that whatever gift shall be given to the Lord's children shall also benefit the children of darkness and their masters. Meaning this dead zone should strengthen me too. As you see this motherfucker getting stronger. Psych, bro took his horns. He said, God's broken the pact. He just declared war upon himself. He said, I don't care about him or you. All I give about damn is about getting you away from Earth is his ass. Takes his ass up in the air. He said, even if I have to do it myself, fly his ass. He said, you want your damn horns back? You got them. Gave them to him. But it should be your lungs you should worry about. I'm pretty sure that freak part of you doesn't like that thin air up here, does it? This motherfucker gassing. He's like, thanks. Didn't think so. His ass still going up. Then he stops and hold him at his neck. He said, now, before I kill you, answer me something. What did you mean when you say God's children? Why are you recite that phrase? Because now I recognize who you are, and you're right. I didn't create you, but those that did knew they made a mistake. They knew that you couldn't be trusted. That's why they banished you. Why they threw you out of heaven. You tried to murder him. Don't you remember? They told me you grabbed his neck like this. As you see, grab Jim down his neck, thinking you could slit his throat with your knife, but he didn't die, did he? Did he? Even after you sliced him open, he wouldn't die. And that made you even more insane, more irrational than you already become. But you don't want to hear any of this, because now that you're awakened, your soul's been hiding the truth from you. He said, what are you talking about? Who I tried to kill? Think, when you were in a coma, where was your soul? What was it doing all those years? He was sitting there looking. It was planning, scheming. And when the time came, you tried to murder God. But you failed. You know why? Because he's a god. You can't kill us that way. That's not how it works. We lord over you. We have the power, not you. After you failed, instead of destroying you, he offered hell a deal. Your soul in return for 1,000 others that Satan had taken away from God upon their deaths. And though you don't look the same as you did then, I remember seeing you and how for a brief moment you made eye contact with the soul of Simmons. It was at that moment when I began planning for my own death, because I knew that a soul so corrupt as yours, that it would try to slaughter God in his own heaven, would easily be able to spread that evil to others. So I scattered my powers, hiding them in a handful of countless souls in my domain. Simmons thought he killed me. No, he only delayed me. That happened in issue 100. He's like, you talk too much, as his ass drops. He falls and shit, right? But he's like, no, he goes to grab his ass and he goes up even more farther. He said, you're not getting off that easy. This time we're going up higher than before. I want you to really hurt. He drops his ass. Big ass nuke explosion in the city. Are you insane? You bring this kind of attention to yourself, the humans will hunt you down. Cut his arm off. He got to tell him that the symbiote don't listen to him. Same thing as me don't listen to God. So we both want to kill both our people. We don't give a fuck about that shit type shit. As his ass go back into his spawn form with wings now. The symbiote took over now, down and gone. And he tells him I can extract that Malbosia form like this as he brings that shit out. And he tells him, you're not finna rule this world, and neither is the cloud. Symbiote told him it's mine. The world will be mine. Downing is just a mean to get there. To heaven, he means. Because his soul holds the key to heaven. And he's trying to go kill God. After he kills Malbosia, right, with this big ass sword, we see that this motherfucker got some wings. Big leathery ass wings. That's who Jim Downing is. That's who just recently came back in the recent issue of Spawn. Shit crazy that Spawn used to be able to turn into a white dude, huh? But yeah, this motherfucker is powerful as fuck, and I can't wait to see what they finna do with him.